Hey, another Tuesday Talk video. Something I was thinking about the other day. Does brand loyalty actually mean anything? Does brand loyalty actually matter? Now, in years past, I would have said, yeah, absolutely, brand loyalty is important. Actually, when I started business, I was into still. I was a still guy. 100% still guy. I said, still's the only way to go. Still is it. Oh, nothing but still. Man, the real truth is my dealer, local dealer that I trusted the best, that I liked the best, at the time, that's all they dealt with was still. They didn't sell Echoes or Husqvarnas or Red Max or any of that. All they sold was stills. And so it was one of them things where if you're dealing with them, you got to go with still. And so that's what I did. I went with still. I was a still guy. And after a while, and I got into Exmark and Toro. I've been into Exmark and Toro ever since I've been in business. The guy I started with was hardcore Toro guy. He had all Toro mowers. So, I mean, that was kind of what I grew up with. I was raised on the Toros, the Toro Pro lines, and then later on the Exmark 21s and the Exmark 30s. So, and then obviously I got into the Exmark Zero Turns and the Exmark Exmark Vantages, the stand-ons, later on. And I had a Gravely Compact Pro for a while, but the story behind that mower was I needed a commercial mower that had a 34-inch cut to fit through gates. And even though Exmark used to make a phaser, they used to make a product called a Phaser 34. They got rid of that mower. They stopped making that mower about 2009, 2008, something like that. And I mean, that was well before I was in business for myself and able to buy that kind of machine. So I never had one. There's still a couple I see around town with the city of, the city that I live in. The city crew has one or two of those still. But anyway, so I looked at a couple of Toro Z Master 34s, the Toro version of the 34, and they were just clapped out, beat up. And, you know, I was like, well, all I can find in a commercial 34 right now is the Gravely. So I found a good one and I bought it, and it was a good mower for a long time for me. I used it up until 2023. But anyway, that's another story. I'm just contemplating brand loyalty. Like, is brand loyalty really that important? And today, my answer that I'm thinking of today is no, it really doesn't matter. The only time brand loyalty actually matters is if you're getting paid. If you're getting sponsored and you're getting paid by a company to basically promote their product, then in that case, yeah, brand loyalty absolutely matters, because, you know, if you don't fulfill your side of the agreement, you're going to risk losing your sponsorship. And a lot of guys you'll see on YouTube are that way. Not all of them, but a lot of guys, the big name guys, the guys, you know, getting millions of views on their videos and have 20,000 subscribers, that sort of thing. A lot of times those guys are being sponsored by the company. When you're sponsored by the company, you know, they provide you with equipment, you make content with the equipment. It's kind of like marketing for the company, and that's why they do it. Well, Big Red Services here does not get sponsored by anybody, not at present anyway. That doesn't mean I would turn down a sponsorship, you know, if one were offered to me, but one has never been offered to me. And, you know, I say this now, but who knows what might happen. I say, well, you know, I'll never be big enough. I'll never be, you know, enough of an influencer per se to get that sort of a sponsorship deal. But then again, I never thought I would have over 1,000 subscribers on here. So, I mean, maybe it'll happen one day. I don't know. But until then, you know, when that happens, I will tell everybody, you know, hey, I'm being sponsored. The sponsor for these videos is such and such, whatever, you know. I am a official partner with whatever. But until that day, the products you see on my channel and the things you see me using are mine. I purchase these products for my use. Unless, you know, I specify so-and-so has a demo unit, which you saw me last year with the Optimus series from Greenworks, and then this year, earlier, you saw me with the Ego 30. But see, if I was dedicated, if I was hardcore about brand loyalty, I wouldn't even be considering demoing other products. I wouldn't even consider using other products. Like, I would say, oh, I'm not into Greenworks. I don't use that brand, or I'm not into Ego, or I'm not into Echo. I'm only a Stihl person. That sort of thing. And that's not the right way to do it. That's really not productive, because the truth is, not every company has 100% of what you're going to want. And I've found this out to be true. Sorry, allergies are kind of bothering me a little bit today. There's some Sahara dust flying around, they say. It hasn't really bothered me before this morning, but it's bothering me a little bit right now. Stuck here at Beltline Road. I can't see. But anyway, so yeah, I'm thinking, and really this is true. So not every brand has everything I want. So at the time when I got into battery, Echo had the battery tools that I wanted. They had the commercial battery trimmers that I found and wanted, and they had the battery packs. They had the availability of the battery packs. Now, that doesn't mean I'm in love with every single product that Echo has. For instance, I'm not crazy about their backpack blowers, even though they are extremely powerful. They're the most powerful backpack blowers on the market at present in the gas category. I just don't like them. They're too heavy, they're too bulky, and I don't need that much power for what I'm doing down here. So for me, I love the Echo gas powered power heads, like the 2620 and the SRM 230 and that sort of thing. And I love the battery powered power heads, the 2600s. Those are freaking amazing. Those are phenomenal. But not crazy about the blowers. I'm not even really crazy, honestly, about the battery-powered backpack blower. It does fine. It's okay. But honestly, after using that Greenworks handheld blower, I'm all in on that blower. I use that blower more than I haven't had the battery-powered backpack blower on the truck in about a month. I don't think it's going back on, to be honest. But so I'm into Echoes for the trimmers. I like my Greenworks blower because it's super powerful, and they have a super powerful handheld blower. But I don't like the Greenworks 30. The Greenworks 30 was way too heavy. So what am I doing here? I'm running the Ego 30-inch, the Ego Commercial 30. Ego has figured out the 30-inch. It's lightweight, it's powerful. You can fold it up easily, just like you do the Greenworks 25s. You can fold it up out of the way. I mean, it's the way to go. Now, as far as mowers are concerned, yeah, I'm into Exmark stand-ons. I like the Toro Grandstand as well, but other brands and other companies I don't own currently. Does that mean I would never own them? Not necessarily. I've thought about from time to time. I actually this is another story, but I almost looked at buying a John Deere stander here a couple of weeks ago. Just because of what I was dealing with my both of my mowers being broken down. But that didn't happen, and honestly, I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening in the future. So basically what I'm talking about here is, if you pigeonhole yourself to being loyal to one brand and only loving one brand, you're gonna be kind of stuck. You're gonna be ignoring other opportunities. Like if I had said I have to own only Greenworks products, I would have been miserable running that 30-inch. I would have been absolutely miserable. But I was open. I found Ego. They have a great 30-inch. Their blower is really good too. It's not quite as good as the Greenworks one because it's a little heavier. It's a little bit too heavy in my opinion, but they have the great mower. The 30-inch mower is great. They're coming out with a stand-on at some point. Will that be as good as the Greenworks Optimus? I don't know, but I'll give it a shot. If the opportunity presents itself, I will give it a shot. As for stand-ons, gas-powered stand-ons, I think the Toro Grandstand is the way to go. I mean, I think it's the perfect mower. As far as battery-powered mowers, I'd love to give the Grandstand Revolution a shot. We'll see if it happens. But I really liked the Greenworks Optimus. That's a great mower to have. So, I mean, really, at some point eventually I'm going to be running, you're going to see me running like 5-6 different brands. So I got Echoes, I got Greenworks in the truck. I've got Ego in the truck. I've got Steel on the truck. That's 4. I've got Exmark in the truck. That's 5. I've got DeWalt hand clippers. That's 6. I've even got a little Ryobi handsaw that I use a DeWalt adapter with. That's 7. So this is seven different brands of stuff. You know, and it works. That's what works. Some people would disagree with that. They'd be like, I gotta stick to one brand only. And, you know, sure, if you want to do that, that's fine. You know, but I don't think, I think that's a little bit closed-minded. And I used to be that way a little bit. And I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to use what works for me, regardless of what brand it is. And if I can make it work, somehow, I'm going to do it, like I did with the Ego mower. I don't have any other Ego tools, I just have the mower. Will I ever get any other Ego tools? I don't know. But I'm sold on that mower. I'm going to keep running that mower, that mower I love, and we'll go from there. I'm fixing to be here at my first property in the morning, so getting started a little later than I like to. But it is what it is. Luckily, I'm used to the heat. It's going to be a hot one the next few days, so we got a good day scheduled today, so I just wish these allergies would leave me alone, man. I don't normally get bothered by this stuff, but it sure is bothering me right now.